Good evening, all. Staying here, and I hope people are coming in to have this session interactive. And once again, a warm welcome from my side. So today, like we will be going through the importance of programming languages, and I will be taking to you about what is C programming, and followed by C++, Java, and now trending thing, which is Python. And like at the end of this webinar, like you will be coming to know that the importance of programming languages and where it is being applied in our day-to-day activities. So okay, could anyone confirm me that my voice is audible to all and it's clear, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm going in a right
Yes,
pitch,
sir.
right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, good to go then. So don't get scared about programming language. So if you may from a different background, okay. So some may be from a science group, or some may be like very new to the programming languages. So programming language is nothing but like it's a kind of language that you communicate with your PC, that is your personal computer or laptop, or like desktop, anything like that. So how do you communicate with your friends? Like by speaking up, right? For example, if you're going to communicate with your friends who speaks Hindi, so you and her or he should understand the language Hindi before you communicate it. Else not like you won't have a good communication path through. So in the meanwhile, like we have different languages in as a current era, like English, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, anything like that. So in likewise, like we have protocols are also called as like programming language to communicate with the computer. So we human like communicate with this our computer using programming languages. So simply like programming language is a computer language. So it means that the language that is being understood by the computer, okay, that is used by the programmers or also called as the developer to communicate with computer. So like these are the set of instructions, okay, that can be have a different languages that can be executed using wisely, either in C language or C++ or Java or Python or COBOL, Fortran. There are many. So to do a specific task, I can just give you a simple example. This Google Meet, like the entire thing is being written in a programming languages that allows, like as a simple dashboard that allows the peoples to come and in a meet and communicate wisely. So moving on, like there are different types of programming languages, okay. So coming to the main core part, we have low level language and high level language, and at last, like I will come back to mid level language, okay. So when coming to low level language, so it is a machine dependent. It means that the low level, which is composed of zeros and ones. So we have in English A to Z, right? So same while we have a low level language of zeros and ones. So the entire code is being decoded into zeros and ones. So it is like it don't need any compiler or interpreter. So to coming to a point of interpreter or compiler, imagine I will just give you a real time scenario. One person, a person A speaks Hindi and a person B speaks only English. So we need a communicator, I mean, intermediate person who understand both Hindi as well as English. So a person speaks in English should have like as a translator, it should translate the English words into Hindi to understand about the second person. So likewise, like we have a compiler and an interpreter to do that. And below this low level, we have sub two branches. So one is machine language and another one is assembly language. So the machine language is composed full and full of binary and hexadecimals, which binary means like 0 to 1 and hexadecimals means 0 to 15 with some alphabets. And coming to the assembly language, like it is designed pure full of processes. So we have process, right? Like it is about how to optimize the things. So entire thing for the processor which is used by assembly language. And at last, like coming to eye level, we also call as like HHL. Sorry, it's like a user friendly software programs, okay, that is used to design any websites or develop any applications, GUI, or also called as graphical user interface. The only main difference between the low level and the high level is like in high level, like we use interpreter or a compiler to just communicate wisely, where in low level we don't need that. So the two sub branches under high levels are procedural, okay. One is procedural and another one is object oriented. Procedural, in the other word, like we can say it as a functions, okay. In C, examples are C, Fortran, Basic, Pascal. So these can be written into an identical function that can be used wisely in and out of the program. And when coming to object-oriented programming language, example Java, Python, like these uses objects. We will discuss more on this later. Okay, so now coming to this, the first part of the program, like we will be getting in touch with C programming, C++, Java, and Python. So these are the most famous and stepwise language, which is like used almost, which covers all around the world. So like coming to the C programming language, this is the first which is a base, which is a foundation to a program like anything that can be learned from C. So it is so popular and flexible. It's a kind of general purpose language. And it is being developed by an author like Dennis M. Ritchie, and it is developed in 1972 at AT&T Bell Laboratory. And it compiled of both low-level programming languages as an high-level programming language, as we discussed before. And it's like, for example, it can be used to develop text editor, also called as the notepad that you are using right now, and compilers. Compilers are also called as translators and network devices and many more. So the main key advantages of the C programming is it's very easy to learn. So it's composed full and full of syntax. Like I can give you an example about if, then, else, while, for. There are many syntactical things that are which are very common and syntactic in nature. So this program, like executes very fast and it is very portable. It means that it can be deployed anywhere. It is you can use it in Windows, Mac, and Linux versions too. And as a full power to extend the things, and it's too flexible. So the main key advantage of this C programming is like it allocates memory dynamically. It means like it won't say like there is no space, no enough space. So it allocates the memory to store something in a runtime too. And the major disadvantage of the C programming, coming to the point, is it is very much difficult to debug when compared to other. So it won't support constructor, deconstructor, abstraction, polymorphism, which is also called as an object-oriented programming concept. Since, as we saw before slide, like C is only for about, it's a procedural language. It means like we can write any functions there, but we can't create any objects as for we do in Java or Python. And coming to now C++, like it is an extended version of C, I could say. So C++, like it's software, okay, that is being developed by Benjamin Starstrips in 1980s. So this comes after C programming language, and it is very similar to that, but it includes additional features such as exception handling and object-oriented programming language, which is not present in C. And the main key advantages of this of the C++, or also called a CPP, is that it is so portable as we do in C language, and it supports the major advantage and evolution of OOPS comes in C++, which is like abstraction, inheritance, encapsulation, and polymorphism. So this is also like compatible with any other language such as C. And the major the major disadvantage is about it. It is also very difficult to debug as the large complex code when come into play. For example, if you are going to build any a massive amount of website or bank application using C++, then it is very, very difficult to debug, like where the error could be or error-prone codes. And it also like don't support as garbage collection as we do in Java. And now coming to Java programming language, so which is a very great and easy installation Java. Object-oriented programming language. So it is a very simple, secure. So the secure key is the key highlight here, and it's a platform-independent programming language developed by Sun Microsystem in 1995, which has been evolved after CPP, also called as C++. So now Java is before it is owned by Sun Microsystem, before at the rate of like 1990s in the term, and now it is being taken care by Oracle. So the main, it is being used widely in the 2000 era is about banking sector, so and information technology. So these kind of programming, which has like an evolution into big data and desktop applications and many more. And the major Android applications are being made with the evolvement of Java programming. So everyone used Android phone, I hope so. Android or iOS, anything, but the main key alert for this Android phone application is behind the scenes Java programming language. So now we understand the importance of programming language, and I would like to add some key advantages of this programming to Java. So it is like easy to debug, first of all, when compared to C and C++, and easy to write syntactically. It is so easy to get into touch and the debug when compared to other programming language. So it provides you certain IDEs. So and you can even run sample programs on a different platform in the sense like you can even run it in Windows, Linux or Mac, anything. And it is like, as I said you earlier, the keyword of this Java programming language is highly secured. Because of this like secureness, this programming language is used behind the scene of bank applications, and it is able to capable of performing multitasking, also called as like threading. We call it as in threading. So threading in the sense like it can be able to do multiple jobs at a time. So for example, if you guys are playing any games in your mobile phone, it was like able to even do WhatsApps or any other application in the background. So this is also called as threading or multitasking. So the major disadvantage is about here the Java programming consumes more memory, and when it consumes more memory, like which is slower when compared to C or C++. And the major disadvantage of is that it doesn't provide any backup facilities for this Java program. And at last, when the most powerful era of this 2021 is about Python programming. Yeah, the things are like widely used, and it's very eco-friendly programming language, and it's a open source and very easy to learn. And like guys, these Python programming is being developed in 1990s. So the main familiarized with Python now in 2015s and more is about because of the trending technologies such as machine learning, artificial intelligence, GUI based applications, big data, and robotics. And when coming to speaking about the advantages of Python programming, it is easy to read, and the syntax are being highly depreciated when compared to Java, C, and C++. And it also like have a capability to integrate with other programming languages, which is not only limited to C, C++, and Java, and also like a database thing, that is NoSQL and SQL, that is structured query language. This like even like there is this Python programming execute in a line by line wise manner, whereas in C and C++ and Java, execute in a bulk wise. The whole source code is being executed at once. But where in Python, it executes in a line by line manner, so that it is easy to debug and able to find the error in a correct line, which is when compared to other before programming language, which is not quite easy. And this is also called as like a platform independent, which means like you can run the code, you can write the code in Windows, and you can also run it in Mac OS or Linux OS. So the major disadvantage is like here it is quite slow when compared to C and C++, since like it works with the interpreter. Other programming language like works with compiler. And now at last, coming to the installation part for C and CPP, or also called as C++. So since like this is very complex, like I'm going to add some features to it so that like you guys can able to install it on your PC. So the entire thing I'm telling you in a Windows setup, since like all users, I'm assuming the majority of the user here are using Windows, either 10, 11, or even 8. So now coming to this, like to install CPP or C++, okay? So this is a single software that is able to run C and C++. So the only thing that you get differentiate about the files is the extension will be .c when you are running the C files, and extension will be .cpp when running the C++ files. So you go to this website link, and when you go to this link, you will be seeing this, okay? So this is a kind of zip file, which is a compressed file. Okay, you click on this download, and as you can see, this is 6.96. It's a just IDE, and it is very lightweight and open source to that. So after you just hit on this download button, like you will be coming to note that it can be, this supports operating system Windows 7, Windows 8, and 8.1 and 10 and even 11. Since the release date is 2017, it was able to even support for Windows 7. And when coming to the next step, like once you get this file and extract it, you will be seeing these kind of setup files and turbo C++.msi with WinRoot, which is a configuration file. And what you have to do is like you should look for the setup.exe, which is an executable file as an application, where else like you will able to download. I mean, you can able to install it on your Windows. Okay. So once you double click on this setup.exe file, you will be navigating to a next. Dialog box will be opened, whereas like it will ask for installation wizard. So like you can just click on next and accept the terms and condition. At last, like this is so simple to install. So it will just say like installation shield wizard completed. So this is the final dialog box that you will be getting. So it's either up to you. You can check this box to launch the program, or you can just close it by either finishing it and you can reopen it using a start menu. So this is how you. So this looks like this at last. So you can just start your Turbo C++ programming. Okay, you can start as a new project here and like or a new source file. So you can edit it. Okay, so the syntax is different. So for example, if you are using for loop in C++, it will be quite same, but there will be some similar syntax. Okay, but remaining also quite different. And now coming to Java and other Python installation, like I will be giving you the steps, okay? Since like this is a very simple as compared to C and CPP. So now coming to Java software installation, so we need two things. So one is like JDK and as well as Java runtime environment. So since like I have told you that the entire thing is being taken care by Oracle, you can just go to this, and since it is an open source, you can just download this Java software, okay? Either you can just go open your that is a browser, example Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, okay, or if you are using a Mac, then you can just go with Siri, Safari, and you can just copy paste this link on your browser. So, or you can also download this NetBeans, which is also an integrated development environment. So next, like it will ask you for a respective version. Okay, so based on that, like if you are using Linux, like it will be a separate tab will be for you Linux, and it will be for Windows, and it will be for Mac. So you can just download the application accordingly. After that, like you will be redirecting you to a Oracle login page, where you will be having to set up your account, or if you have an email ID that is being registered with Oracle, you can just go directly log into that page. So once after that entire thing is completed, you will be downloading. I mean, the installer will be ready to download, and you can download this. So once it is done, you just run this installer, and it will just open up a wizard like as shown you before. It's a dialog box. So you just have to click on next for the path button. By default, like it will be on your C drive, and next, like it will be asking you for a simple installation, that is Java runtime environment, which is the support for Java behind the scene, where you will have to click on that installation checkbox, and at last, like it will just go and stay in the default directory. Finally, like it will, it will come into a dialog box of successfully installed. If you get any error, you will have to. It means that the Java runtime environment is not being installed. So then you can just click close. And now coming to a very simple step of Python software installation. You should have to go to this above link, or you can just type in a Google Chrome or any other browser by typing Python, download Python for Windows, or download Python for Linux. So once you go to that, okay, for this simply like I'll just show you about for this. So this is the link that you are going to do, or you can just directly say, or you can just directly go and see Python download. So both things will take you up there. So once you go there, like there is a download Python, which is a latest version of around 3.10.2. okay, it can be like download for any other OS, so Windows, Linux, or Unix, or Mac OS, or if you have any other OS. So these are the releases that you can get it from. Okay, so currently it is 3.10, and before it was 3.9, started with 2.7. So you have different like OS, applications that you can install. So for example, if you're going to get ready with this 3.9.8, you can just click on this download. After this, like you will be going down with the respective files. If you are going to a Windows 64-bit installer, you can just directly go on this. If you are a 32-bit installer, you can just go on this. And this is for Mac OS, and for Linux, like Linux or Unix users, you should have to go on switch on these two things. So just for the this is so simple, and you can just go. So once it is downloaded, which is the latest version of about 3.10.2, an exe file. So for a Windows user, an exe file will be downloaded, and you will have to extract it. Okay. So once, since you will, why do you have to extract? Because like it is a compressed zip file. So once extraction, like you will be getting all those supporting files. You should look for uh, as an installation prompt will display. You will have to click on the main important mandatory thing is like you will have to click add Python 3.10 to the path checkbox, and you should just install now. Click on the install now. Then there will be three next buttons. So one is for path installation, and another one is for supporting installation. So once you all done this, like the setup will be completely installed, and you guys are now ready to boom with the running the Python file or Java or C++ things. So at last, like coming to a real world application of a Python programming. So there are many applications that has been built till now. Like the very first thing that as a wide opening of around everyone is like around operating system. That is the Windows thing is being built using C and C++ at the start, and a database which is MySQL, NoSQL database are being brought up using these kind of programming technologies. And browser, even the Chrome browser, Mozilla Firefox is being written into like millions of codes using these programming languages, and graphical user interface like Adobe software, which we do it for Photoshop thing, is being done and written an instruction using programming language. At last, like bank application, as I said, you like Java is being prominent at at the time of 2000s to develop an application. And now in the 2021, I mean, in this trending era of 2020s, like we have come into cloud that has been, this programming language has given a wide range of opportunities to build many applications which has been used worldwide. And at last, like gaming and animation explicitly, like I could go and tell you about Nvidia, which comes up with the gaming thing, which uses a graphical processing unit for parallel processing to support you iframe per second. So this is like at the end of this programming. And now I'm just going to ask you, like, do you find any difficulties, or have you got the point what is programming languages, or do you guys have any doubts on this till now?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, my name is Navya.
Okay. Tell me.
Sir, actually, I'm not from the computer background, sir, but I want to learn the programming languages.
Mhm.
So, can
Okay.
you please guide me, sir? How do I learn all
Yeah.
these things?
Yes, the entire learning setup and things will be discussed at last. But like, if you have any doubts regarding to this programming languages, like as discussed in the above slides, you can just ask or shoot your questions now. See,
Uh,
I'm just concluding one thing right here itself. See, whatever the things that you take into an IT sector, example, your mobile phone. See, I'm just giving you one real life example. Okay, so the Android, you guys know, right? Android. Who is the founder of Android? Like, who founded it? Any guess, or anyone knows that?
no idea, sir.
Okay, so Android belongs to Google. Okay, you guys know, right? Apple belongs to Apple code. That is, iOS belongs to Apple. There are only two big companies before, like 2020s. But now, at last, there are many: Infinix, Nokia, BlueBerry, Realme, and many things, Poco, Redmi, Xiaomi. So what are these? These are also Android phones, but the original thing is made by Google. So what he's doing is selling the Google product of the Android, and all other guys, like making some above template. Okay. So for example, I'm just telling you, if Google is making a cake, plain cake, okay, with the toppings, and Google is giving all the open source plain cake. So what all Realme, Xiaomi, Redmi, or for what they are doing, they are just putting the toppings over the plain cake and making them as their seller. So everything is turning into a business. So everything, like with just the lines of code, I can't even say like it's just a lines of code, it's a set of instructions, okay, valuable instructions that are making the business productive. So each and everything is being written in codes, okay. Codes are also called as programming languages. So the key to this business, okay, coming into this 2021 is programming languages. And now the trending one is Python, and just is because of the key to machine learning and deep learning and AI things. And you guys may be much familiar with artificial intelligence. So I could, like say you some real-time examples. So everybody would have been gone through Alexa, that is a voice recognition and replying to you, and robots and automation. So these things, are being done with machine learning and deep learning things, which uses the core system of Python programming languages. So this is like the importance of programming language. Hope you guys may get aware of the importance of programming languages. Now the entire things are, coming into cloud rather than storing everything into their local PCs or local system. The entire thing is coming into cloud. So cloud is making a business now with the lines of code of programming lines, okay. So this is like how the things are being set. And even like now, to give you one great example, Google has introduced Waymo in the back 2007, and now Tesla is bringing up into a great thing as a competitor to Google itself, that is Waymo. So how they are made, how they are making a self-driving car, you guys, like what they are doing, they are making a cameras around the car and making it to, like observe what are the people, as we do, as we humans observe with our human eyes. They are making the machines in the sense, what is the machine there? The camera is the machine, the car is the machine, okay. So they are making it, it's like a mini computer. They are making the camera to analyze as we do person analyze the things. So they are making it to analyze, this is a person, so this is a red signal. They're making the things to recognize and think wisely with the help of programming languages. Now for in like Tesla and Google, that is Waymo, is being for deep learning thing, they are using CPP, that is C++, to get the almost effectiveness in the computer vision techniques, to make the camera to more readable as what we humans see in a 6 dimension. So this is how the programming languages are being helping the applications to build in 20-30x times. So that's why like we are into this. We are making this as a 2020 as a technological world. So in future, like we can. So now the things are not being generalized. In future, like things will be generalized and everything will be taken care by the robots. Any doubts like till now? Anyone wants any clarifications in programming languages or how it is important? Any doubts you can ask or shoot the questions now.
Sir, is it necessary to learn C program or else we can direct go to the Python?
Okay, that's a good question. See, then coming to the things of the syntax, you can directly jump to C++, okay, or even C. So the things are wide variety of opportunities. Like if you're going to the field of machine learning things, you can go with Python. If you want more into like deep learning and computer vision things, C++ has a wider opportunity. See, everything is a language, okay? We have a core concept on that. You can see it's just about the syntax. If you are going to write if else in C++, there is if then else in Python. That's it. Like it's the things are very common here. If you learn one programming language thoroughly, you can learn anything. But the things are used up, respectively. If you're going with Python, you can go into this field of data science. If you're going to learn R languages, you can go into also data science. There are wide opportunities. It doesn't mean like you have to learn CPP or C++ before to get into Python. So everything is like, you can learn directly. But for learning, but for learning Java, I recommend you to learn C or C++ either, because that is like more similar when compared to Java, because like Java is like very much big, and like syntactically it is quite difficult to understand too.